If it's about order number 12, I'll give you when we get there. Give him the mic. Can you give the mic to Honorable Nyikal?
Mr. Speaker, what happened when the issue of whether it was proposed or not came? You had called and there was the ayes. Now, some people stood, I know, I'm aware, to actually call for a division. So, Mr. Speaker, mine is to just say those of us who felt there's need for a division should also be given a chance. Those who are saying whether it was proposed, that was a different matter. So, Mr. Speaker, in that confusion, really, Mr. Speaker, justice is superior to the law. So, Mr. Speaker, if some of us needed a division over this matter, why can't we be given that chance?
Honorable Dr. Nyikal, you are a very experienced legislator.
Exactly.
Take your seat. Take your seat. When I think it's Robert Mbui who called for division, I heard him very clearly. From where I sit, I have a bird's eye view of the House, and only 8 members stood. You require 25. There were only 8 members, and I could see. So we have passed that matter. Let's move on to the next. Order number 9.
Order number 9, the Health Amendment number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 42 of 2022, second reading. Mover to reply.
Order. Honorable Didmas Barasa, you reply to your bill.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Before I reply, I want to donate some 2 minutes to Honorable Sloyer, the Member of Parliament for Vihiga, then I will finish.
Honorable Sloyer.
Honorable Sloyer, 2 minutes, and Honorable Babu Wino, 2 minutes.
Excellent. Sloyer, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to support the motion by the Honorable Didmas Barasa on the health referral system by saying the following. A referral system is supposed to be controlled in this country of ours because we have seen so many cases whereby our patients are going to different hospitals in the country and getting unnecessary referral to different hospitals which do not even have the capacity to hold or give attention to the issues that the patients have. A referral system should be from a lower capacity institution to a system that is more complex, that is supposed to assist in dealing with the complications that our patients may have. But we find that at times we have poor communication among hospital professionals that at times result into unnecessary costly referrals, which should be controlled at some level so that we have a referral system that can be of help to our people. We need to have an improved interaction among professionals of healthcare network. So in this country, we find that a patient may go to a hospital like Nairobi Hospital, and be referred by a doctor to a lesser institution that is owned by those professionals. So to provide justice to our people and to ensure that they are being taken care of in the best way possible, we need to have a controlled referral system. I have a case in point whereby patients are referred from a health center into a referral hospital that is more or less than the same.
Lawyer, your 2 minutes are up. Baba Wino, give Baba Wino the mic. There's one next to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support the bill on the health. Mr. Speaker, in the Bill of Rights, the fundamental human right to life is enshrined in our Constitution. And Mr. Speaker, whoever goes against this right becomes repugnant to the natural laws and justice, and inconsistent and repugnant to the natural laws and justice. Mr. Speaker, our doctors take a Hippocratic oath to preserve life or to protect life, and our nurses take a Nightingale pledge to act professionally. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, if a hospital is referring a patient to another hospital, they should take care of that patient until such a time when that patient arrives into the referred hospital. They should ensure that they preserve life and they protect the patient. In our Kenyan system, Mr. Speaker, you find that a patient is taken to a hospital, left there to die. Procedures are being followed for this patient to be admitted in the hospital that they have been referred to. So therefore, Mr. Speaker, we have a right as a nation to protect and preserve life. Thank you.
Who do you want to inform? Owino has finished his contribution, so you can't inform him. Honorable Didymus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill seeks to compel the Ministry of Health and the hospital facilities to develop a referral system that will ensure that a person who has been referred to another facility for treatment, that person must be admitted seamlessly. The file of that patient should be sent electronically to the facilities upon which that patient is being referred to, so that upon arrival, that patient should not waste even a single minute, because it's a case that it must be attended to immediately, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it also requires that the hospital upon which that is referring this person must continue to attend to this patient until that person reaches to the facility where he or she is being referred to. We have situations in this country, Mr. Speaker, where upon a patient being referred, there is nothing that will happen to that particular patient. He becomes helpless. No one takes care of him. The file is discharged, is closed, and we want to ensure that when a hospital facility refers a patient to another facility, they will continue taking care of this person until he or she arrives at the facility where they have referred that patient to. The second thing, Honorable Speaker, which is very important, is that the person referring the patient to another facility must ensure that the referral process is expeditiously done, more seamlessly, within the shortest time possible, Honorable Speaker, and that upon arrival, that other facility must have superior medical facilities to be able to deal with this kind of emergencies, Honorable Speaker. I want to ask members to support this bill so that we engage further at the committee of the whole House and improve this bill further. And I want to thank those who have supported, those who have made their contribution, those who have supported it, those who have opposed this. I have taken notes and I want to appreciate them, everybody, for processing this bill. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move.
Honorable members, I'll now put the question, which is that the Health Amendment Number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill Number 42 of 2022, be now read a second time. I'm satisfied that there is enough quorum to vote. So as members of that opinion say aye. As members of the contrary opinion say nay. Nay. The nays have it. Next order.
Order number 10, the Cancer Prevention and Control Amendment Bill, number 2 Bill, National Assembly Bill number 39 of 2022, first reading.
Order.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Cancer Prevention and Control Act and for connected purposes.
What? Next order.
Order number 11, the Community Health Workers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 53 of 2022, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to make provisions for training, registration, and licensing of community health workers, to regulate their practice, to provide for the establishment, powers, and functions of the Community Health Workers Council of Kenya, and for connected purposes. Order number 12, the Finance Bill, National Assembly Bill number 14 of 2023, second reading.
Order, honorable members. Order. Order, honorable members. Take your seats. Take your seats. Order, honorable members. We are now going to order number 12 that has been called out, the Finance Bill. This is a bill like any other. You know, in the budget cycle, there are always two critical bills, the Finance Bill and thereafter the Appropriations Bill. We are starting this bill, and the House Business Committee directed that we will debate this bill the whole of this morning, the whole of this afternoon, if there will be enough members interested in contributing. And depending on how the debate goes, it will then spill over not to tomorrow, but to Tuesday, because tomorrow the Minister of Finance will be here in the afternoon to make the highlights on the budget of 2023-24. In debating this bill, as you know in our own standing orders, the mover of the bill will have 45 minutes, and in the event that he's not done in the 45 minutes, the chair may indulge him to finish what he wants to present. Of course, at the end of the debate, his reply time is 15 minutes. Each member who will contribute will be entitled to 10 minutes unless the House, in its own considered view, wishes to reduce that period so that more members can contribute. That I leave it to the House. As and when any member raises such an issue, the chair will consider either on its own or put a question to it. The leader of majority and the leader of minority, you will be entitled to 15 minutes each on this debate. And I want to encourage us that this is a bill that has generated quite a bit of extra parliamentary debate. Focus on the bill, debate the bill, and the time for mastering any amendments to the bill, as you all know, comes at the committee of the whole, which will probably come tomorrow this afternoon or on Tuesday, depending on how the interest in the debate goes. Everybody will be given an opportunity to debate. As usual, my screen is full. I don't know if it was full for the items we have already finished or for the coming bill, but we'll use both the screen and the discretion of the chair to pick members to speak. I encourage decorum. Your right to speak must be equal to your duty to listen. So those who speak must also be ready to listen to those who have listened to them. And that is the way debate should be in this House. So the chairman of the committee, you can now take the floor and move the bill.
Point of order, Mr.
Yes, Honorable Farah.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for that delivery. I want to seek the indulgence of the chair. Because of the widespread interest in this particular bill, exempting the leadership of the House, the majority leader and the minority leader here, I suggest that the rest of us be limited to 5 minutes. If you can't deliver a very powerful argument in 5 minutes, you can't even deliver it in 10 minutes. I've been in this House for 30 years, and I know it.
Bowen.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to second the deputy or the honorable member who've just spoken that we need to reduce because of we have many members, Honorable Speaker, and you know the finance bill, Honorable Speaker, it's very important to members of this House and also the nation as whole. It's important that we reduce for members to 5 minutes, and apart from the little majority and the little minority, they can have the 15 minutes, but the rest of us, we can have 5 minutes each. I support.
Yes, Donya.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You actually need even a minute to know if this thing is right or wrong. I don't see the sense of having the 10 minutes while each of us need to debate on this bill, we share on our grievances, how we feel about it. When you look at a lady, you can say she took 1 minute to prepare her makeup, not a whole 10 minutes to describe something. As I stand here, you can know that that lady dressed well or bad. That is 1 second. 10 minutes, what will you be describing in 10 minutes? 5 minutes are enough. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, can the majority and minority leader approach the chair? Majority and minority leader. Order, Honorable Dr. Nyikal, please. Honorable Dr. Nyikal, you are one of the most seasoned members. When the House is order, Honorable Dr. Nyikal. Dr. Nyikal, you know, apart from your long professional career in medicine, which controls human behavior sometimes, the chair has tremendous respect for you. And you are the last member I would expect age, profession, and experience to do what you are doing. Order, Honorable Dr. Nyikal. Honorable members, having had 3 members and consulted with your leadership, it's generally a consensus that we can do 5 minutes per member. Any member who will have material to prosecute and the chair is convinced that you have much more to say, the discretion will be exercised. Now I call on the mover to start.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise before you today with a sense of gratitude and appreciation for the opportunity to speak to this National Assembly when you're all looking forward to this great conversation on the Finance Bill of 2023-2024, a responsibility that is mandated. Yes?
You start by saying, Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the finance bill be now read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Then you move the way you are moving.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that this finance bill be read for the second time. Honorable Speaker, I hold a lot of gratitude for the responsibility that bestowed on the Committee of Finance and National Planning as per the Standing Order number 245. The Committee of Finance and National Planning carried out the most extensive public participation in the history of Parliament. Our members of the committee sat between 10 and 12 hours every day listening to the members of the public, listening to various views of Kenyans. Our members of Secretariat sat hours reviewing the over 1,500 memoranda that were sent to us by email, taking care to respond individually to each of those emails with comments and noting those comments in our report, a report that we have annexed, that we tabled yesterday, that provide annexures of around 3,000 pages. Honorable Speaker, this comes at a time when we also, yesterday evening, we did the estimates and the appropriations, Honorable Speaker. It's very interesting to note that the Committee on Budget and Appropriations Committee, when they are doing their budget participation on the budget, the views of the Kenyans and the Kenyans who appeared before them all came with smiling faces, because they were saying, we want that road completed, we want that dam done, we want connection of water in our homes, we want extension of electricity connection in our homes. But, Honorable Speaker, the experience may not have been the same when we were asking the members of the public on the views of how that budget that they really wanted implemented, we would raise the funds to fund that particular budget, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I go to materials on the facts of the bill, it comes at a time when this bill faced a lot of falsehoods and political, I would call it political assassination, Honorable Speaker. I've listened to the members of the public, I've listened to members of this Parliament, Honorable Speaker, debating on some matters that will be contained on the bill. And one of them, Mr. Speaker, that I really found interesting and really unfortunate is the miscommunication, for example, on compensation of insurance services. I had members of the public say that if, for example, I lose my leg and I get compensated, then I'm going to pay 16% of that compensation. I had members of the public and even members of this National Assembly say that if an insurable loss occurs and, for example, I lose my car through insurance and I get insurance compensation, then I'm going to pay VAT on that insurance compensation. But, Honorable Speaker, I would like to refer you to page 240 of the bill, clause 30, section 9, and I read verbatim, that where a bona fide owner of a taxable supply who has deducted input tax under subsection 1 is compensated for the loss, that compensation that includes VAT shall be declared and the VAT thereupon remitted to the Commissioner. Or B, if the compensation does not include VAT, the compensation shall be declared and subjected to VAT and the tax remitted to the Commissioner. Keywords here, Honorable Speaker, is taxable supplies. And I want to ask members of this House and members of the public, is insurance compensation for your leg a taxable supply? Is a compensation of your car when you get involved in an accident a taxable supply? Is when the goods of your home get burned because of a fire, is that a taxable supply? And perhaps to get a little technical here, Honorable Speaker, what this clause purports to mean, where businesses actually hold goods that are vatable, then they would have paid input tax on those particular items. So if they get compensated plus the VAT that they ask for a refund, and then they go ahead and charge output VAT on those particular services, on those particular goods, Mr. Speaker, then it would have been deemed they received that compensation for VAT twice. So this double VAT refund is what this clause, Honorable Speaker, was trying to cure, and that is what is contained on the bill, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to draw your attention to our tax system in Kenya. Our tax revenue as a share of our GDP has remained consistently at approximately 15%. This stagnation is a cause of concern to the Committee of Finance and National Planning, and this is some of the issues that this particular bill, Honorable Speaker, wanted to address. In comparison, Honorable Speaker, with several African countries, Botswana's tax revenue per GDP is at 24%. Mauritius is at 18%. Zambia's is 17%. But Honorable Speakers, ours has remained consistent at 13% as of 2021. These countries, Honorable Speaker, have managed to achieve higher tax revenue collection rates. The disparity highlights, Honorable Speaker, is a need for us to reassess our tax policy and explore more effective ways of enhancing revenue mobilization. Honorable Speaker, I would like to talk about our economy for the past decade. We have witnessed an evolution in our economy with the emergences of employment opportunities in the digital market space. Additionally, a majority of jobs have been created during this period and have been in the informal sector, employing approximately 80% or 18 million shillings of our Kenyans in 2021. Mr. Speaker, the Finance Bill of 2023 had several tax proposals that will enable the country to increase its tax base, essentially increasing its revenues. The committee carried out the public participation and deliberated on the matters which informed the following decisions. For instance, Clause 2, which deals with the definition of terms, Honorable Speaker, had the definition of winnings when it came to the betting sector, Mr. Speaker. Something that we addressed, and the bill now try to tighten up on those particular winnings so that it doesn't lead to loss of revenues to the government of Kenya, Honorable Speaker, and also it doesn't crowd out potential businesses to live and go and set base outside this country, Mr. Speaker. Clause 5 of the bill suggests imposition of taxes on club entrances and subscription fees for employees. However, if it's implemented, this would result a double taxation, as both the employee and the employer would be taxed on these fees. In response to this concern, the committee made the changes to the clause, allowing that the taxation to be applied only for the employer's income instead. Clause 10, Honorable Speaker, of the proposed registration introduced a new tax called the digital asset tax, specifically targeting the taxation of profits generated from digital assets, such as cryptocurrencies and non-fungible assets, the one we call NFTs. Many stakeholders expressed their desire to have this proposal removed, as they believed it would discourage traders. However, the committee noted that the reason for setting up the tax rate of 3% of the gross turnover is to facilitate compliance and for trading, and also for simplifying the process. It will note, Honorable Speaker, that Kenya becomes now, if this bill passes as a man, Honorable Speaker, becomes one of the first countries in the region to recognize cryptocurrencies and digital assets and bitcoins as a way of a form of payment, as a form of trade, and therefore generating revenue from these particular digital assets, Honorable Speaker. The committee observed that Clause 12 that restricts expenses without ETIMS invoices as complemented by Clause 57. This would exempt individuals from registering in the electronic system management system. The exemption ensures that small traders, the one we popularly known as mamambogas, and those that are in the formal sector are not negatively impacted by this particular proposal. Additionally, therefore, the commissioner we have proposed will ensure administrative guidelines to address any concerns regarding the implementation of this system. But we have uploaded that there is a need to have every trader and every business person in the country operate within the ETIMS system, Honorable Speaker, and this we realize would enhance both revenue collection and reduce the cost of tax administration. Honorable Speaker, stakeholders expressed their concerns on clause 20, which would require that withholding taxes be remitted to the Kenya Revenue Authority within 24 hours. They believed that this timeline was too short and would result in additional administrative expenses, Honorable Speaker. But the proposal here, Honorable Speaker, we have had many institutions, many companies that withhold, whether it's excise duty or VAT, that means they are agents for the collection of these particular taxes, had up to 50 days before they remitted these particular payments to the Kenya Revenue Authority. So, Honorable Speaker, we noticed that by them getting 50 days of these taxes, it means these businesses were being funded through their working capital by taxpayers' money, Honorable Speaker. But again, from having between 20 and 50 days to remit these monies to KRA to under 24 hours, we found that 24 hours was a little too overambitious, and the committee amended that and said we would allow that these businesses can remit these particular taxes within 5 working days. The key word here, working, Honorable Speaker, also takes care of the complexities of weekends and and official holidays, Honorable Speaker. Clause 24 was one other very contested by many stakeholders. They were concerned about the proposal to increase pay rate for individuals earning more than 500,000 shillings. And Honorable Speaker, having really considered this, we found also they were concerned about the proposal to increase